Yeah, I thought that it really was a step in the right direction for us throughout the whole game. Again, I go back to regarding the Vikings, so highly in all phases of their game, and they're tops in everything, and just a year ago, and it's their place, and so our guys went on the road, traveled really well. We handled it, played up the whole time. We ran and hit the way we like to. Our effort in the special teams was outstanding. Bunch of big hits. The thing that just didn't happen again is we didn't get the football, and so it makes it a hard game. We give it up once, and it's the difference in the game. So we learn those. We know those lessons. We keep continuing to repeat it, but really liked the whole shift by our mentality. I think everybody relaxed and played football and played together and really energized each other in the way that this game's supposed to be played. So that's a real good outing for us.
How do you feel like Jermaine has responded to the competition over the last week?
I think he's doing well. He's doing really well. He's really cleaned up his game. He's playing hard. He's got some technique things that he's working on that show up. You can tell that he is. I think he's responding well.
What about in the game specifically? How did he do?
He did fine. He played a very solid game.
What have you seen from Kuna Ford, and kind of where does he stand at this point?
He's been really good on the line of scrimmage. He's got his own style. He's short, but he's got real long arms, and his leverage is really an asset for him. But beyond that, he's very instinctive. It's why he was such a big player at Texas and made so many plays. And I don't know, he was recognized as Player of the Year or something in the conference. You can see why. He's just really instinctive, and then he's got that kind of unique style about him. So he's done really well.
Does Rashad have a chance to play Thursday?
Yes, he does have a chance to play Thursday.
Look like Doug is kind of getting more involved in things.
Yeah, he's back. He's back in action. It's really good to see him back out there running around and feeling great. He's had a really good ramping up to get to this point, and he'll work the rest of the week with us. He won't play in the game, but he'll be ready to go next week.
Pete, your impressions of the run game on Friday after looking at the film?
We schemed very well, and some of the stuff we've been working on showed up, and I think the couple plays that we hit that really were really well blocked, and the runners hit it right, and we made good yards inside, and it was great to see us execute like that. That's our best game at the line of scrimmage, point of attack.
How do you feel about the line in general at this point? Russell wasn't sacked last week either, only hit a couple times. The ones were out there. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, and then remember, now, they didn't have Everson Griffin, who was a great player, but that's a really good group, and they pressure a lot, and they came after us. And I think the guys are really working together very well, and we've had the good fortune of keeping them solidly, connected throughout the off season, and it's helped. The communication is good. Russell's communication through Justin and across the line is good, and I think Will Disley is having a factor in that as well. So we have a chance to keep improving. We have a long ways to go, but we're making really good progress. And I think this is the most solid we've been in some time.
When you see Disley have that block on Brian Robinson where he rides him out of bounds, and that has to just make you.
This was exactly what we had hoped for, and Will's just getting going. He's a lot of things we've done. He's only repeated them a few times really on the field, and so he's got a lot of growth in him. He's really smart. It makes sense to him. He's very accountable, and he's just going to keep getting better. So physically, he's good enough to really be a factor. So that's a big improvement for us. I think it was a great pick. John was on this one and right from the start, and he really brings something that we needed.
Have you seen Nick Vannett kind of embracing the opportunity of some guys moving on and kind of his chance?
Nick's doing well. He's doing everything. He's all over the place. You saw him in the backfield last week. He's playing. We're moving him all over the place. His understanding of what we're doing, his experience with this group is shows, and he's been catching the ball flying. So he's doing a good job.
Where was KJ Wright today?
KJ is getting his knee scoped today.
When you look at Gavin Russell's in his style, and see some hits he's taken, how he's spent some years under duress, I think the fact that he's never missed a start, he's only missed one play due to injury in his career, is that a testament to his conditioning? Is that a miracle? I mean, how do you look at it?
Yeah, well, it certainly is. It certainly is a testament to his overall athleticism, staying out of trouble, his understanding of the game, against knowing situations and staying clear of difficult situations you can get in. His conditioning, he is really dedicated in the off season to work throughout to make sure he's in his best position physically. And then there's also good fortune too. It's all of that to have that kind of a record running for him. So. And then he's coached to stay out of problems too, and he's very smart about that too. He knows what we're talking about, and he understands it, and he's always respected how to get that done, and really we trust the heck out of him because he's so good at it.
He was obviously banged up 2 years ago. Was he telling you guys that I want to be out there, and maybe you guys didn't want him out there, or what was that conversation like? Or was that?
It was a conversation, it was, and listening to him and knowing how he had, worked so hard to rehab, throughout the night, day in and day out, all throughout that season. And you saw him get caught once, and so he was vulnerable to getting caught again, which happened pretty soon after the first injury. But he was remarkably mentally right to take it on. He was just not going to accept the injury, that was going to stop him. He never even thought for a second he wasn't going to play. And that kind of mentality helps healing. He healed himself right through it and held a great thought throughout and showed it. I mean, I thought that was really his most courageous, maybe his most spectacular season under the circumstances because of what he went through. And we weren't running the ball very well then either, which really made it hard. So, yeah, I think it's a great illustration of who he is and what he's all about.
Surgery, you said? Arthroscopic surgery?
Yeah, he had a scope job. After the game, he didn't get hit or anything. He didn't have an episode. Just felt that maybe something wasn't quite right. We took a good look at it, and so we're going to do a scope job and get him back really quick.
How many weeks do you know?
Don't know.
Opener.
I don't know that.
And is it the same knee he had to get this treatment last year?
I don't know that. I don't know that answer. Sorry.
Pete, how much, when you look at the competition you've had in this camp, week 4 is always kind of a different week, especially with 90 guys on the roster. How do you approach it in terms of your starters, and is it fringe guys, and how much competition is left in your mind for?
No, this is why you watch practice today. I mean, and these guys are going for it today because they know this is their chance to make this club. And there's a lot of guys that have done a lot of good stuff on this roster, and we're not closing our minds to anything. We're wide open to it. The thought is that everybody's getting ready to play, and but the young guys will play a lot in this game, so they're going to get a great opportunity. The rule change about the cuts from 75s. This is a great decision by the league. This is the way it should go, and we shouldn't be under duress going in this 4th game. And that change is it's so obvious. So we'll maximize the opportunity for these guys, and it's not for some of these guys. Their opportunity will show up for other clubs as well, and so the chance to get on the field, make their plays, make a statement, and all that may help them here, of course, but also at other places as well. So we're going to give them every opportunity to show that.
Over the last 2 weeks, can your mind and just everyone's minds change about a player or two? Maybe you had a decision made and then it changes in the last week.
No, we don't have decisions made. We don't have to do that yet. We're going to wait. Coming out of Minnesota, Bud Grant used to say, "You don't make decisions until you have to," and we're not gonna force it. There's no reason to make stuff up right now, or we'll just wait it out. Give these guys every chance. I mean, that's part of our mentality, is to continue to see these guys making it and coming through and doing it. Our coaches are developmental coaches for that reason, to hold that thought throughout and not ever cancel the guy's opportunity out. And so we're trying to do that as best we can.
You mentioned the change of the roster cuts. Does that kind of change how things play out those last couple days? We saw some trades last year, and does it just kind of change what you guys do those last few days?
Yeah, it shifts the urgency, coming next weekend or this weekend, because you could have done a percentage of it, whatever, about 40% of it. So it does make for a very eventful finish to the week, and the preparation that goes in for our guys to know what's happening as best they can going in, and then they have to assess the injuries and what happens. And it's like going into draft time again. Really, we go right back to work and make sure that we're making good decisions for our club.
You mentioned a few times that Rasheem was well coached in USC. How do you see that showing up in this game?
Technique-wise, he's very advanced. His hands and his body work, the things that he can do, his sense, his feel for stuff. he's not like a raw rookie that doesn't know anything. You know, he's got a lot of background, and so he's been worked really well.
You think needs to come to it, Pete? How ready is Shaquem Griffin in base defense?
At this point today, he's got to be ready. You know, we don't have any choice for that thought right now until we know more. So we'll see how it goes.
Speaking of Tedrick Thompson, what's his situation?
We'll see as we go. We're going day to day with him right now. He had a little stinger in the game. This is what happened, and he got hit in the ribs too. So we got to find out, you know, how he is. He desperately wanted to go back in. He was ready to go back in and play, and we held him out. So his mentality is right, and he wants to play right now.
How close is Byron Maxwell to getting back to full speed for you at this point?
I can't tell you until they report in today. He's working to get back, and I don't know that for you yet.
Speaking of young linebackers, one guy that's jumped off film to me, Austin Felitro. What are your thoughts on how he's played in the preseason so far?
Yeah, he played really well first week. Second week wasn't quite as sharp, and then he came right back and had a terrific game this last game. Big hits, coverage was really solid. His command of what we're doing really jumped this week, and you could just see him just gain his confidence. And he was really part of the juice that was out on that field, you know, throughout the second half, and was really leading the charge. So he's done a really good job. He's been effective on special teams too, showing really good toughness, and he's really settling in. So he's done a nice job. You picked up on a good guy there.
How is Ed Dixon and Deion Jordan? Where are they kind of progressing?
Deion Jordan's really he's making progress. He's making progress right now, and he's trying to make a bid for getting back here next week. And as we said a long time ago, it would be a race to that last week, you know, and that's kind of where it is right now. So he's doing a good job. He's really chomping at the bit to get back on the field, and we'll just have to see how it goes.
If he's that close, is there any reason to keep him on PUP for 6 weeks, or you think he'll be able to get?
That's the decision that we have to make. Yeah.
Frank Clark? What's his
he hyperextended his elbow a little bit, and so we had to rest him today.
How about Reese Odiambo?
Sick.
Pete, just back to Russ real quick. Have there been times where I think, like most fans, if he's a little slow to get up, or gets hit particularly hard, or maybe doesn't slide as soon as you'd like him to, like you kind of got that feeling in your gut, like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I get mad at him. You know, I think it was the first preseason game. He scrambled to his left, and he got tackled. You know, and I yelled at him. You know, what are you doing? You know, because he doesn't let guys. You know, he knows better. The guy just flicked his heel and got him. But I don't want to see him get hit at all. And so that's basically I get mad at him for letting somebody get him. You know, because he knows how. And it's rare when he can't avoid it.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.